Create a Team career mode. Today we are here for episode number 8 at the Monaco Grand Prix. And as a few of you might have noticed, we have another special livery for this weekend. Hopefully that can be a good omen for us. As the first race that we had a special livery this season, we managed to get a double podium with our first win in the series. So hopefully that can provide us something good here in Monaco. Before we get started, we're going to select our race targets. We're going to go conservative with both drivers here today, and hopefully we can get the objectives.
Welcome along to one of the biggest weekends in motorsport, here in Monaco. Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo.
It's Ferrari who are currently ahead in the constructors' standings, but that could still change with so many rounds left ahead of us.
What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Okay guys, so this is the first time in the weekend that you're going to get to see our special edition car. Here it is. Special Monaco livery, the red and white with the black accents on the car. For the weekend, we're going to go and skip straight through the session to build the suspense. And then you'll get to see, come qualifying, this special livery that we have on the car. We're going to try and get the optimum setup for the weekend before we do anything. And unlike in the Australian Grand Prix when we had a special livery, we have actually changed everything this time. So the team colours as well as the logo colour, all for this weekend, has been changed specially for the Monaco Grand Prix. So that is something that we wanted to make sure we got right this time around. Early on in the session, it's not looking too bad for us. P3 and 4.
Give us a balance check when you can.
It's not good.
Okay, copy.
Driver feedback on Hulkenberg, 34% to start with. Okay, and we're going to go like that on Hulkenberg to start.
Everything okay with the car?
It's a bit.
And we're going to call in Piastri as well.
Understood, thank you.
Piastri on 27% to start. So we're going to have to adjust this as well. And we're going to go like that, something like that on Piastri. Okay, and we need the cornering to be better on Piastri. Okay, and the straights. We're going to go like that on Piastri to start off with as well. Leclerc at his home Grand Prix up to P2 at the moment. We're going about our business, sending Hulkenberg out again, who's currently P5 in the session. And we're going to push on Piastri a little bit like we're pushing on Hulkenberg. Hopefully he can give us a better time, and he can, up to P4 in the session. What about Piastri on his first flyer? And look at that, Hulkenberg up to 4th place as it stands. Piastri up to P8. And Leclerc is the man who's clear at the moment. And we're about to bring Hulkenberg back in for a soft compound tyre run. And Hulkenberg heading back to the garage. What has he said about this one? And it's 39%. We're way off again on Hulkenberg, so it looks like we might have to do FP2. And we're going to have to go like that on Hulkenberg. So we are going to do FP2 to make sure we master the strategy. And there's Piastri on 46%. And we're going to make sure we reduce that straight line speed by some more. We're going to try and push this up for... Oh. Right, let's see what else we can do, guys. Okay. And we're going to go like that on Piastri as well. So we're going to send both drivers back out. This time on a soft compound tyre run. On the soft compound tyres for Hulkenberg. And same for Piastri till the end of the session as well. Hopefully we see some improvement in the tyres. Straight away up to P2, Oscar Piastri. A nice lap there. What about Hulkenberg? Not getting any clean air at the moment to set a lap, Hulkenberg. Piastri in a lot of clean air, and he is able to get the laps in. Currently leading FP1 is Oscar Piastri.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
And that is the checkered flag. Oscar Piastri ending the session top of the pile, with Hulkenberg down in 8th as it stands. Not able to get in a fast lap there on the soft compound tyres. We're going to go to this session and make sure we maximise the strategy for the weekend. And we're going to make sure we head straight out with both drivers, not hanging about, to make sure we try and get a little bit of clean air if we can. And we do get a little bit of clean air. What are the initial lap times? Piastri leading
If you give us a
Hulkenberg.
balance check when you can.
It's much better.
A-firm, yep.
And we can try and perfect it throughout the session. What about Piastri?
Tries to get a feel for the balance.
We're going to try and keep them out for a little bit longer, till maybe the 45-minute mark, and then we're going to reassess the strategy. Hulkenberg nearly half a second off of his teammate. We're now going to bring in Hulkenberg, and also we are going to bring in Piastri. He's looked very confident so far this weekend, back at the top of the standings, Oscar Piastri. And let's have a look at the setup now. We've got 82 on Piastri. We're going to take that. What about Hulkenberg? 85, and we're going to stick with that. And we're just going to try and perfect it throughout the session. And we're going to leave them out there. Leclerc goes top with an extremely quick lap time. We're going to push on the same soft tyres that we had at the end of FP1. We're going to use here at the end of FP2. We're going to see if we can go more aggressive on this compound of tyre to give us a bit of extra performance. Hulkenberg instantly up to P2, Piastri in P3. And it's good progress we're making so far this weekend. We topped FP1, we're P2 and 3 in FP2 as it stands. Now both of our drivers now heading towards the garage. And we're going to stick there with both of our drivers. We're going to head out for that soft compound tyre run. Oh, maybe not, because it's not giving them available to us. We are going to head out on the soft compound tyre for another run. And here we are. We are going to head on to that soft compound tyre run. And we're going to see the lap times. They are in some clear air. Well, not Hulkenberg, but neither is Piastri now, actually. Piastri still getting caught behind.
So cool the tyres.
Yep.
And we're getting stuck behind the drivers ahead. And now we can both push, hopefully. Piastri up to third. What about Hulkenberg here at the end of the lap? Hulkenberg goes P2 in the session. And we're both soldiering on. We're P2 and P4 within a tenth of the top of the session at the moment.
Oh dear, a crash! There's been a crash! Let's see what happened there. Look at the McLaren driver here.
And Vasseur just gets put off by the Ferrari.
Just flies into that crash. And you've got to think that this has made their weekend a whole lot harder. The team glued to the monitors and watching their hopes crumble away.
And that there is Richard Vasseur making the first mistake of his season in terms of a crash. We are going to head back out there for the remainder of the session on these soft compound tyres, just for the last 6 minutes. And then we will head straight into qualifying. At the moment, Verstappen only down in P8. We have Vasseur in 15th after that accident. But the top players are all still there, I would say. We've got Norris and Leclerc either side of Piastri.
We have checkered flag now.
And that is how it ends. Hulkenberg P2, Piastri P4. We're heading back to the garage. And that is FP2. So we are going to go straight into qualifying now with these drivers. And we're going to simulate straight into qualifying, where hopefully we can qualify highly, because qualifying is king around this circuit.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Qualifying means everything around Monaco, with little chance of overtaking in the race, getting as far up the grid as possible, And keeping the car intact is every driver's goal on this unforgiving circuit.
There, of course, we've got Nico Hulkenberg. How do you think he's faring heading into qualifying?
They'll be feeling okay, I reckon. They're certainly doing well next to their teammate, and they're really proving their value to the team.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
So guys, here we are. We're in Monaco for Q1, and it is going to be a wet session to start. As you can see, I don't know if it's going to get much easier. So we are going to head straight out with both drivers from the get-go. We're going to go on board with Piastri. And it's, of course, a purple sector 1. But what can Hulkenberg do? And he got some traffic there. But he's gone quicker in the first sector. That is fantastic news for him. Look at this gorgeous car go round the streets of Monaco. And Hulkenberg is quicker in Sector 1. Piastri is quicker in Sector 2. Let's see what the gap is between these guys coming over the start-finish line. And it's a 1:17.3 for Piastri.
That's P1 for the moment.
And it's a 1:17.3 for Hulkenberg as well. Separated by 27 hundredths of a second, but look at that.
P5. Box, and call the car.
Copy.
Look at that. We are seemingly nowhere here in the wet. Norris and Verstappen yet to go, and it looks like it's getting wetter before it gets better. And let's see what happens here with the weather. It's just getting more wet, and Norris and Verstappen are the two title challengers who have been caught out by this wet weather so far. Will we get dry weather running before the end of Q1? If not, they are out. And it looks like they could potentially be getting lucky here, because it looks like it is getting more dry as the session goes on. We are now heading towards the dry weather running. It looks like the way it's going at the moment, we are P10 and 11. And we are going to put on the soft compound tyres. We are going to do that as a team. It looks like it is getting more dry by the second. What is going on? Why can we not send out Piastri here? This is very worrying scenes. And we're going to send Hulkenberg out. And it's a red flag. We've been bailed out there. They would not let Piastri out for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we're about to find out. Logan Sargent making a mistake into turn 1, hitting the barrier, and that has given us a massive out in this session to get through with both drivers.
Look at the team there. They all knew.
And because of that, we are now going to be in dry conditions. with both drivers. We are now going into the last part of qualifying. And we're going out on those softs at the end of the session now. We're the only two on track, so this should be first and second here in Q1. And it's purple sector for Piastri, who seems to be a little more comfortable at this point in the session. Heading through, and it's two purple sectors for Oscar Piastri. Should easily be first and second here in Q1. We're getting a little bit of dry weather running before Q2 and 3. Hopefully that gives us the advantage. And it's straight to P1 and P2 for Q1 there. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come. P1 and 2. And we're back on the inters for Q2 though. That dry weather running did not pay off for us. And we're going to go back on those used inters. And we're coming back out of the pit lane.
We've had a big crash here. Debris still around.
And Lewis Hamilton is the crasher this time. And he's done a 2016 Nico Rosberg. That was not ideal for him by any stretch of the imagination. And it's going to get more and more wet. And it just depends on if we have traffic or not. And we do from the Williams with Piastri. This might not be good for him. We're coming towards the end of the lap now with Hulkenberg. He should be safely through. And we're stuck behind the Williams.
So that's P2 at the moment. So we're happy with that lap.
Although we are only 0.3 away from our teammate.
So currently P5.
And we're tumbling down the times. And we could find ourselves out of qualifying here. And it's getting more and more wet. And we are on the cusp in P9 and 10. And again, we look like we have been bailed out as the session continues to get more and more wet. We are in P9 and P10. Not looking like in the wet we have the package. We're hoping for a dry Q3. And that will really be able to help us out. But it looks like dry weather is coming for Q3 potentially. So could this save us? As we see Hamilton crash out in 15th place in Q2 after that crash, with Bottas, Albon, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll. And from Q1 being, and we're heavy wets for Q3. It has not got dry, it has only got more wet. And we are going to head straight out with both of our drivers. And we do have clean air on the rest of the field. Just Hulkenberg getting out ahead of Norris. So we do have a clear run here in the wet. And it's Piastri once again, going quicker than his teammate. And no dramas there. Getting past for Piastri. No dramas for Hulkenberg as well, so we do have a clear run to the line now with both drivers. Hopefully clean air is king. Piastri beaten in sector 1, but is still going quicker than Hulkenberg. Piastri finding some form. And this is the banker lap for Q3. Where will this place our two drivers? Piastri on the run up to the line. And it's a 1:21.9.
Okay, that's currently put you P1.
And Hulkenberg just
Copy.
not finding it at the moment. Nearly 5/10 down on his teammate.
So it looks like P2 at the moment. That's a pretty decent lap.
And there we go, and it continues to drop. And we are putting both cars back out there for another lap. And cars are out there on inters. And we now go top with Piastri.
Currently P1. So
Hulkenberg.
currently P2. That's a good lap. So just confirming boxing and back into the garage.
Yep, copy.
Can we get back in and out in time on these? And it's another red flag.
Red flag, red flag.
Vasseur has gone on pole position, but he looks like he's crashed
But
for the
this is what
second time in
happened.
this session.
And we can easily see
has.
how wet it is on the track. And ends up in the wall. And
And
how
for
will
sure-
this affect their chances heading towards the Grand Prix, I wonder?
Vasseur is now in the wall,
And not much.
and the man who stuck it on pole just now is out of the session. We're currently P2 and P4. We're going to use a brand new set of intermediate tyres for the end of this session. We're currently P2, P4, Norris 6th, Verstappen in 8th. Can we do anything about it? We're sending both of our drivers out there. This is a risky strategy. And why is nobody else coming out? Nobody coming out of the pit box, so it will just be our two drivers. Can we claim our front row start here in Monaco with what looks like the ideal
clear.
conditions? And it looks like it could be a shootout
And
for
seconds
pole
clear.
between
You're good to go.
Piastri and Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg just coming through turn 1 now. We've got Piastri on a lap, Hulkenberg on a lap, and nobody else looks like they are around. But we're going to get our answer here at the end of the first sector to see if we are going quicker. And we are. Piastri is purple in sector 1. And again, quicker than Hulkenberg, but a 20.6 and a 20.6. So it's all to play for, half a tenth in it between our two drivers. And it looks like we've got it spot on here in qualifying at Monaco. The place that is typically most difficult to overtake. We could have pulled an absolute blinder once again with our second special livery of the season. As we head towards sector 2 now, will it be Piastri or will it be Hulkenberg on pole position? And it's a PB but not purple through that middle sector, a 36.1 and a 36.0 for Hulkenberg. So at the moment it's all to play for, and it's very, very close between the two. And here is Piastri on the way to the line. And it's a 1:18.7 for Piastri to claim pole. And it's a 1:18.7, 21 hundredths of a second. And Nico Hulkenberg is on pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix, ahead of Oscar Piastri in P2. And that was a fantastic result, especially considering the rest of the order. Richard Vasseur in P3, Alonso P4. Our nearest challenger in the standings is Leclerc P5 ahead of Norris and Sainz, but Verstappen down in P8 for the race.
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers now prepare for 78 laps around this historic track.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start.
Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Saint Devote, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
And now, guys, we have race day upon us. We are P1 and 2 for the Monaco Grand Prix. This looks to be an exciting prospect for us. And it's telling us that the 2-stop is the way to go. We're going to see if we can change this around and go hards first, medium second, softs last. That would be ideal for us. Okay. So 20 laps on the softs, 28. Right. Oh, okay. So 30 lap. Oh, hang on. Yeah, 30 laps on. Nope, we don't want to do that. Okay, 29 laps on the hards. 28 on there and like that. Right, so which is the quicker? And it is telling us this one here is the quickest. I mean, we do probably need that to get off the line. And we are going to go straight into the Grand Prix. And who will lead into turn 1? I wonder, between our drivers.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. You and I won't be the only ones keeping an eye on Oscar Piastri, Karun.
A second place start for them today. They'll be aiming for a podium, but could they even sneak the win?
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And we're going to go full attack off the start with both drivers. Here looking in helicam, and it's important that we don't get overtaken for P2, but we have for sure. Come on, Piastri. Come on, Piastri, climb it back up the hill. Yes, that is crucial for our race. P1 and 2. Sweep round the outside. Get him if you can, Piastri. This is going to be tight, but he's retained it. And that is crucial for our race. And now we need to try and get a gap on Richard for sure if we can to defend against the undercut. As we head towards the end of the first lap. And that is Nico Hulkenberg getting a gap on the back of... And look, we are getting that gap out to Vershaw now. It's over 2 seconds.
But really focus on cooling tyres.
Copy.
We'll drop back to normal pace now.
Copy.
We're going to say don't fight teammate at the moment.
Copy.
And Fernando Alonso is now P3 in this Grand Prix. Norris is behind for sure. We are controlling this race at the moment with our 2 drivers. And Alonso is starting to reel us in a little bit. What tyres does he have? He's using some more of his tyres to try and catch us up. So the longer Vershaw stays P4, I don't think he has the pace compared to the cars behind. Verstappen still in P8. Vershaw actually now is on the back of Alonso.
Yeah, okay.
And that gap is staying rather constant at the
Pick up
moment.
the pace.
Overtake is available. Overtake available. Yeah. Copy.
And Hulkenberg has been dropped at the moment by Piastri, but we're going to use some aggressive.
And that's a purple lap. Copy.
And we're trying to close back up. We've got a little bit of a gap to Fernando Alonso behind. Lando Norris is now past for sure though on lap 9. And as soon as he gets past Alonso, he will be on the back of us, I am sure.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Yeah, copy that.
Verstappen starting to close in on the Ferraris. And Norris now on at the end of lap 9 is past Alonso. He will be up to us very, very shortly, I'm sure. Closing in fairly quickly. Norris on hards to start the Grand Prix. And so are the Ferraris and Vasseur. So we might need a very big performance here. And Lando Norris is closing us down. Lando Norris is closing up to the back of us. And he's bringing Alonso with him. And Vasseur now in 7th, holding up Verstappen.
We do not require any fuel liftoff. Copy.
Piastri extending the gap over Hulkenberg at the moment.
Let us know what you think on the tyres.
It's stable for the moment.
And we're going to try and defend as long as we can here. The pack are behind Hulkenberg now, 3rd to 6th. And again, it looks like we don't have race pace, but for as long as we can hold them off of Piastri, it looks like the win could be coming our way. And Lando Norris now outside of DRS.
Let's have a liftoff. Copy.
And we are just holding Norris past a second there, but it does look like we are starting to close up to the back of Piastri as a result. But it's just Norris now. Alonso has dropped off the back and is holding up the 2 Ferraris and Verstappen, who is now up to P7 in this race. And we're watching Hulkenberg try and defend as much as he's worth. And we're going to use some ERS.
An overtake will be available.
And he's past Hulkenberg now. And we're 0.3 behind Norris. We can't get past at the moment.
Let's just start to close that gap slowly.
We're going to try our best to get Lando Norris here. And we can't do anything to hold on to him, and he's caught up to us.
Yeah.
And they can't get past Alonso in 4th at the moment. It looks like Lando Norris could be coming for a Monaco Grand Prix victory.
Lando on DRS.
Copy, okay.
Certainly don't let any cars pass you. Copy. Push.
Copy.
Just keep it sensible on the tyre.
And Lando Norris is taking P1 of the Monaco Grand Prix.
And think about less lifting coast.
Yeah, copy that.
And Alonso on his mediums, 11% more worn than we are.
Car behind is Hulkenberg. Gap at 3.3. Let's push. liftoff. Copy.
And it's Yuki Tsunoda who's crashed. And he's done a Rosberg as well.
Sorry, mate.
And Sainz is finally past Alonso. Alonso's in the pit lane.
Thoughts on tyres? Front left struggling a bit.
Onto the hard compound tyres for
Just keep pulling
Piastri
the
at the
gap.
end of this lap.
Yeah.
And we're bringing in Nico Hülkenberg on this next lap for the hard compound tyres.
Box.
And it's Oscar Piastri for the hard compound tyres. 2.8 second pit stop. Where will he rejoin?
We'll be close at pit out.
And there's Vershaw. Will we be caught behind Vershaw? Yes, we will. It's going to be tight, but we're going to get stuck behind him. And that was not ideal. And Alonso is stuck behind
Russell
Stroll.
now the car behind. Gap 10.1.
We're in with Hülkenberg now. Piastri getting stuck
So remember,
behind
one line on
Vershaw.
exit.
We're going around the outside if we can make it. And it's Piastri round the outside of Vershaw and Hülkenberg rejoining in P7 for the time being.
You are currently P7. Gap at 2.3 now. So George and car behind.
And Piastri now quickly closing up to the back of Max Verstappen.
Just manage the pace. Copy.
We're not worried about using the tyres up.
Copy.
Now there's been an issue in the pits.
Magnussen with another pit stop issue. This is nothing new in our series. Another Bodge-Tass pit stop for Magnussen.
What happened?
And we are now going to stick where
Back
we
it out.
are.
Back it out.
We're 9 seconds off Carlos
Copy.
Sainz at the moment.
That's blues for Alex.
And we're past Vershaw now with Nico Hülkenberg. What is Vershaw doing?
Just try and keep these as cool as possible.
And Vershaw's all over the back of us. What is he doing, this guy?
And we can drop the lift and coast for now, we'll pick it up later.
Copy.
And Vershaw's looking to come back past, but he's now out of the DRS. That is exactly what we wanted to hear. And we've got Piastri and Hülkenberg P4 and 5 after having made the pit stops. You've got
Currently
Verstappen.
P5.
Verstappen down in
We've got to
P9
the
after
extreme,
the pit stop,
so
held
car
up
ahead
behind
now.
Russell and Perez.
Gap 2.8. Need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
And we've got past 1, we've got
So,
past 2, and that is
lift off.
important.
Copy.
And we're right behind Carlos Sainz here, 3 seconds behind. We're going to need to get past him or hope that he pits sometime soon so that we don't get held up. And Verstappen still caught behind Russell as it stands. Verstappen now on his hards. Perez doing his softs right now. For sure, still on them old hards. And we're rapidly catching up now to the back
like quite a
of
big accident,
Sainz. And it's George Russell with
Stay
the
well away from
accident.
Livery.
And Verstappen is getting caught up big
looks like-
time here. And it's George Russell. And he's hit the back of the Alpine. And Verstappen is way off now.
Incident, exit turn 9. So we've got a debris on the track.
Russell has been given a 55-second time penalty. Okay. But he's hemorrhaging time here. And he's got Verstappen and Alonso behind him now. 10 seconds behind. And Verstappen now 20 seconds off of us. This should be a foregone conclusion at this point in the Grand Prix.
Pick up the pace a bit.
There's a yellow flag now.
And now Correa
Right
has
then,
crashed
we can
again
take
as
a
well.
look now. Now with the Haas. The car makes contact. Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
And Juan Manuel Correa, surely he's getting replaced at some point. He's made so many mistakes so far. And we're now on the back of Carlos Sainz.
Press and hold the overtake.
Copy.
Piastri with the fastest lap. Hulkenberg in the pit lane. Not Hulkenberg, sorry,
So just
Leclerc
focus
in
on
the
bringing
pit
the tyre
lane.
temperatures down.
Copy. Just think about the management. You can just increase it just a fraction.
Copy.
And we're losing time to Lando Norris ahead of us.
Cool the tyres.
And this is ruining our race.
Let's have a managed increase in pace at this point.
Sainz is slowly catching up to the back of Norris, and surely he will be pitting soon. And we just cannot get past this Ferrari. And in the pits now, finally, is Carlos Sainz. And on lap 42 of the Grand Prix, we are 10 seconds behind Lando Norris, who is yet to make the stop.
We are not fuel limited. We are not fuel limited.
Copy.
And we're trying to gain the time back on Lando Norris now. 9 seconds is the gap.
Yep.
And Lando Norris now in the pit lane. Where will he be back out? There's big gaps now between Leclerc, Perez, Sainz and Verstappen. You'd expect Sainz to be the man pushing past Perez anytime soon. And he's behind Leclerc is Lando Norris, and he's out in front of Sergio Perez. So Norris out only 6 seconds behind Hulkenberg and 10 behind 10 behind Piastri. And it's
Could you just introduce 3 seconds of liftoff around the lap?
Copy.
And it's Charles Leclerc on the back of us now on his mediums. And we've now got Hulkenberg trying to hold off Leclerc now for another 10 or so laps before we switch to the softs. going to try and use this ERS strategically for
Overtake is
Hulkenberg
available.
now.
Yes.
No way through for Leclerc this time. And Leclerc's made his way through.
Use the overtake.
Could be.
And we're not going to be able to hold him off here, so we're going to have to look to the soft tyres in the last stint.
Pace is still good, let's just keep it up. Norris behind. Gap is 3.8. So we are low on
We're
battery at the
sticking
moment.
with him, but we're out of
could
it
be.
for the moment.
Pick up the pace a little bit from here.
We've got 3 seconds on Leclerc out front with Piastri. Norris is catching up, but Sainz is stuck behind Perez. So this looks like a double top 4 finish at worst at the moment. Verstappen is ages away from Sainz as well, so he won't be scoring well today.
Norris car behind. So Norris at 1.3 behind. Head down.
And this is Piastri now, defending on against
Stick on your line.
Charles Leclerc.
Use your
He's
tools.
too far back to do anything this time. And we're holding off Lando Norris as well, but Sainz is catching in the background. And we're being harassed by Leclerc with Piastri and being harassed by Norris on Hulkenberg as it stands. And we're using some
Press
ERS.
and hold the overtake.
Copy. We are out of DRS. Copy. Just remember, overtake is available.
Okay, copy.
And look at that, we have enough breathing room over Leclerc and Norris at the moment. And we're actually pulling away from Sainz now, who doesn't seem to have the pace currently. So this is all going very well for us. We're coming up against 2 back markers. It is Stroll and Bottas for P10 in this Grand Prix. Can we get past these back markers? We're past 1 and we've got a bit of a gap on Leclerc now because of that back marker. That is crucial, 1.3. And we're past that back marker as well, and this is crucial for our race to get ahead of both of these guys. Come on, get out of the way please, Valtteri. And Valtteri's not got out of the way of Leclerc, and this is going well at the moment for us.
Cool the tyres.
Norris is
keep
on the
on top
back
of
of
the
us
management.
once more. Norris
Copy.
trying to climb up the inside.
So pick up the pace.
So pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
And Norris is close to the back of us. Piastri still doing a beautiful job. Sainz now starting to close in, but we are currently managing this as well as we can. Not seemingly having the pace in this phase of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris is being held up there by traffic. And we've got 2 more cars to get past. Sainz is starting to really close up now, but Verstappen in P6 is a long way behind. So we don't expect him to catch up
Only
anytime
just
soon.
on DRS this time.
And we're going to use DRS up the hill for Piastri. And we're through with the DRS. And Sainz is getting ever closer, but this is a fantastic run for us. And we're going to head on to the soft compound tyres very shortly. Surely they can't be going all the way to the end on these tyres. They are going to be absolutely shot. And it's 52 to 58. We're going to try and come in 3 laps time to do 20 laps on this set of tyres. But this is very tense. Both of our drivers having to hold on here. And we should both be back out well ahead of Verstappen. So then it will be 3 cars for Piastri to overtake for the win if they don't box. And Leclerc can't get past. What about Lando Norris?
Copy. Overtake is available.
Copy.
And Piastri still staying ahead at this moment in time. And Hulkenberg just staying ahead of Lando Norris. And that is crucial for the race. We're still keeping a gap to Sainz at the moment as well. Doing a brilliant job of management. And we're going to do everything to keep Leclerc behind for as long as possible. Norris knocking on the door as well. Verstappen is coming in again as well, so
Copy.
and we're doing
Press
everything we
overtake.
can to stay ahead
Copy
at the
that.
moment of both of these cars.
So we need solid pace.
Copy.
Optimum lap for us on these soft compound tyres now.
Box. Pick 'em.
Copy. Box. Copy. Overtake press. Overtake press.
Yep.
We're also going to box with Nico Hulkenberg on this lap as well. And we're going to push on now. Fingers crossed we can stay ahead. We're actually gaining on
Box is left.
Hulkenberg. Why do I keep saying Hulkenberg? On Leclerc. We're now over a second ahead of Leclerc because of traffic. And we're back past the back marker as well. And Leclerc is going to lose even more time here. But in comes Piastri from the pit lead. And Hulkenberg's going to come in as well. It's a double stack pit stop. And we're in for the pit box with Oscar Piastri. 2.9 pit stop. And we've messed up bad with Hulkenberg.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And we're out comfortably ahead of Verstappen though. But that has really ruined our chances of getting P3 in this race with Hulkenberg. It looks like it could be a P4 finish.
Car behind is Hulkenberg. Gap currently 7.1. 23 laps remaining. Just focus on that management.
And it looks like it's going to be...
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Yep.
Fastest lap for Oscar Piastri. Yeah, but Verstappen has to come in as well, like Alonso.
Cool the tyres.
Yeah, copy.
And we're gaining big time on the cars ahead.
less of a lift.
Copy.
Hulkenberg is 10 seconds behind Piastri, losing so much time. Hulkenberg looks like he's settling for P5 today. 10 points on the board. We're losing out to Leclerc, Norris and Sainz once more.
Double the lift off for the moment.
Copy.
And it looks like hopefully we can continue closing in the gap to these guys. 10 laps to go and we're on the back of Carlos Sainz now. And these guys look like they're really going to struggle to get to the end.
Tyre feels okay.
Press and hold the overtake.
Copy.
Caution on the battery.
Yep. Copy.
And we're in a second now on the back of Carlos Sainz. All of these guys, surely with 7 laps, are going to really struggle getting to the end. And this is for a podium place. Verstappen has dropped behind Perez now, and his tyres are surely going to die off.
0.8. Don't stress.
Copy. Copy.
Verstappen is in 9th place, and surely this time around, Piastri around the outside.
Copy. Sweet.
It's a good stint so far. Norris ahead. Gap
And we're not going to get the
3.5.
victory. This is too far out of reach.
One more lap after this one.
Copy, box.
Okay, 2 more laps.
Copy.
And we are
Cool the tyres.
going to pick up P3 with Piastri
Copy.
today.
Final lap.
Yep. Copy.
Okay, that's the checkered flag. P3.
Nice to get a result. Thank you.
Okay, that's that. Well done, mate. Into the pit lane.
So you've taken the flag. So ended up with P5. Okay, well done, mate.
Good job. Thank you.
So you'll be coming into the pit lane.
And it wasn't quite what we wanted today. We have dropped further points to the 2 Ferraris and Norris, but we've gained a few points on Verstappen.
And after the checkered flag has flown, there's Nico Hulkenberg.
A 5th place finish ensures they're taking away a fair few points from this one.
The man from down under, Oscar Piastri, heads up to our podium.
And that's podium number 2, down to the hard work of the driver and the whole team, of course.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
For the next round, the teams are travelling to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal.
And as has been the story of the season so far, we qualify extremely well, but we're not able to convert that to victory, as we are now P5 and 6 in the Constructors' Championship. We are P5 and 6 in the Drivers and P4 in the Constructors, but we are only 13 points away from Red Bull. And this is our performance this season, guys. So we've got 1 win, 4 podiums, a fastest lap, 3 pole positions, and we've finished all of the races so far. And that is a good thing in my opinion. And after the race, we finally get some well-needed cash coming in to the team, so that is fantastic as well. And we now have Jaria Sims up to a 65 rated, which is fantastic. We've got some cash back in the bank. We are no longer in debt, which is amazing. And the underfloor has been completed on the car, so that is another beautiful bit of technology that goes onto the car for us. Okay, right, we're going to try it when we can. We've got a few things that we want to upgrade here. We have the facilities, we have the affiliate driver, and we also have the car parts for the car performance. We've got dirty air tolerance and engine cooling number 1, but we're starting to drop back in the low speed, 7th in performance. And we do have the underfloor manufactured now. And we're going to go with everything here on the side pods to give a massive upgrade, hopefully. Right. And what do we want to do? Optimized aero. And we're going to go for the optimized aero. No, we're not, because we can't yet afford it. So that is unfortunate on our part. So we cannot yet afford it. So we're going to press on. And look, the rear wing is in low stock from what we are finding out. No, it's not. What are they on about? Right, the chassis. We are... Okay, so that is a part we're definitely going to need another chassis. But we don't currently have the money for that as well. So we could find ourselves without a chassis if we're not careful. And the monthly development, Jaria Sims is performing fantastically on a 65 rating. Let's actually have a look at this person. And how old is this person? 19 years old. We can stick with this driver potentially, Jaria Sims. Doing fantastically well. The training schedule. And we're going to confirm that. Continuing towards the race week. And we're now on 160k, and that is where we're going to end off this episode, guys. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe on the video, and we'll see you next time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Take care all. Peace.